Have you ever had somebody in your life that is just a solid friend who consistently shows up in so many different ways, whether it's personal or family related or health related or business related? I hope that you have had somebody like that in your life. I'm very fortunate to have a few people like that in my life, and one of them are on the show today, and I'm so excited. My dear friend Christina Gressianu joins me, and we are talking about her photography business. Now, if you know me and if you follow me on social media, you have seen some of her work. I am lucky enough to live in the same state as she is now that I've relocated back to Colorado. She's got a gorgeous studio in downtown Loveland, and I have volunteered to be her model. I love just shooting with her. She's always has such a creative vision. Just last weekend, we did a shoot for more of a old Hollywood theme. She's incredibly talented, and she has taught me so much about myself and about business, and has just always been such a supportive person in my life. And we have so much fun together when we get to hang out and sing karaoke and play Catan and all sorts of fun stuff. And so I'm very excited for you to learn a little bit more about her business, how she got started. She's got some great photography tips for you. And you also get to see a very unflattering angle that I do on the show, which is great. So if you're watching, I would recommend watching this. There's also a uncorking demonstration done. It's a very visual episode. I know you're going to love it. And I know you're going to love Christina. So let's dive in. Are you ready to open up and talk about all things business? I'm Crystal Vilkaitis, a curious entrepreneur who loves talking about business, especially over a glass of wine. I started Crystal Uncorked to share open and honest conversations about my journey and talk to other entrepreneurs about their experiences. We pull back the curtain and talk about the highs and the lows. Wine isn't required, but is recommended. This is Crystal Uncorked. Christina, welcome to Crystal Uncorked.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here with you.
I am so excited you are here. You are one of my closest and longest friends. And so to have you on the show is such an honor. I'm so excited for our conversation. Before we dive into everything, what are you drinking?
Well, I was hoping you'd ask that because I have this bottle.
Yes. That looks familiar.
I thought it might look familiar. It is. I have not tried it ever, but it was a beautiful gift, so I thought I would open it. And I have a gift for you, which I will give you in person. But I've also never used it. So this is a cork pop, and I don't know if you can see, but I got your logo on it.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I could totally see it. That is so cool. Oh my gosh, Christina.
So we'll see. The idea is that you put the needle through the cork.
Okay. If anybody is listening to this, I encourage watching the video so you could see this demonstration.
Needle is supposed to go there.
Okay. Whoa.
And then it's like CO2, and then the cork is, I might make a mess here. The cork is just
supposed to laptop. I love this. This is amazing. There she comes.
Here she comes. I wanted to shoot more CO in there, but it's not shooting.
Oh,
here we go.
Dang. We're uncorked.
We're uncorked with a boom.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, you are drinking. That's from my, I do Wink, where I get wine delivered to me, and it's like an organic wine, and it's kind of hard to find some of those. I feel like you're seeing more and more, but it's just a really clean, delicious wine, so I hope you like it.
Well, it smells great.
Yeah, it's such a hot day here in Colorado, so I went refreshing, and I'm doing a Colorado spiked seltzer lemon flavor, very refreshing on our hot day. We were going to do this in person, but then logistically it did not work out with my mic situation because we don't live far away at all. And I can't wait to get my gift. That is incredibly thoughtful of you. Thank you so much. Oh, so I've known Christina, I mean, gosh, how long? Like 14, 15 years?
I think so.
We met on Twitter. Just like a little tweet changed my life. And we met up for coffee and just like immediately became close friends and so bonded over business and brainstorming and then just life of like the human shit that we all have to deal with and the struggles that we go through. And we have such great conversations. You are always somebody I can count on to really like, I could be honest. I could be myself. I feel safe speaking to you and sharing my life. And then you will just give me a dose of reality and be like, this is how it is. And I'm like, shit, you're right. But I love having that friend. So thank you for being that friend. And I'm so excited to share you with my audience today.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So I have been in front of your camera 5,000 times, I feel like. I love being in front of the camera. And I have this secret desire to do some modeling. And so Christina, I have said, anytime you need a model, I'm happy to be there. And I've also hired her for my headshots and Crystal Uncorked photos. And Christina, share with us how you got started in this world. Where did this all begin for you?
Well, it began when I was really little, and I think 1985, I was 5 years old, and National Geographic put that Afghan girl with the amazing blue eyes on the cover, and I just thought, I was so moved by that cover as a 5-year-old that I was like, this is what I want to do. As I got older, I realized that like, as a National Geographic photographer, you go camp in a cave with the tribe for 3 months to get that kind of, and I like beds and hot water.
Right.
So, as I got to be a teenager, like I had to rethink my plan. But that's sort of, I've just always wanted to photograph people.
Yeah. And you do such an amazing job. I bet there's somebody listening that has had to be in front of the camera who didn't love it like I do. And It could be terrifying for people. But I just feel like you have such a natural way of like making people feel comfortable and really pulling out their true self. Like, how do you do that? How do you do it?
I have a couple rules. I mean, I think generally, I just, like you said, you feel safe with me. Whatever it is about me, people come and they tell me stuff, and people feel safe here. And I, obviously as a photographer, you make jokes to loosen up your client and make them laugh. But I didn't realize I had this rule until I heard a photographer break it, which is, I am always the butt of my own jokes. The client is never the butt of my joke.
Never.
Never. And so always, humor is made at my own expense. I'm totally okay looking ridiculous for my clients so that they know that this is the human experience. Like, the human body does not always look perfect by whatever standards you have. So you pose one way and it looks completely different than if you pose another way, and all you've done is, turn your head.
Right.
So I try to be very real with my clients about like, look, I have rules too when I sit. It's okay. And then just show them, like, I'll show them their pose, I'll show it to them, and I'll show them the difference if they go like this or if they go like that, and they go, oh. And so, like, photos are just this like slice of life, and we get really like worried about how that slice looks. And so I do my best to make sure that slice looks how you want to represent yourself.
I love it. And chin out.
Chin forward.
Chin forward.
Like this, like that.
Exactly. Oh man, mine's bad. You really got a double chin going. Oh man, we have all sorts of treats on this episode. I'm loving it. Like the worst angle ever. We're uncorked. We're just showing it all.
Yeah.
But that is my thing. It's always chin forward. You've got to
Yep.
have those tips. But it's amazing how one little thing, one little turn, the posture can just make that photo 10 times better and make us feel more confident. Like you see it and then you're like, oh wow, that's really amazing. And you feel a little bit more confident too.
Yeah.
Now, I talk a lot about our zone of genius on the show, and I'm curious what you would say yours is. I mean, it might be what we just talked about of people feeling safe, but this is the thing that you're really good at and you also really love.
Taking care of people is actually my zone of genius. When I first met my husband, not first, probably like a year in, I was doing an exercise with him, like a personal growth exercise with him. And so I asked him, what can you always count on me for? And he said that he can always count on me to care. And I was like, oh, I do. Like, I really like taking care of people. And that extends to plants and cats and dogs as well. But I really love like the nurturing and I just love taking care of people. And I'm good at it. I can just look at someone or something and know what it needs.
Yep. Well, even we stayed in Vi and Christina's Airbnb for a few months when we moved out here early. And she noticed that I was picking up the poop in a very weird way. And I had the dog poop, and I had this, let me specify. Oh my God. I have this weird side pain and like it was really bothering me. And then like the next day on our patio is the pooper scooper thing to easily pick it up. And just like you are such a caregiver. You are observant and you see what people need and then you respond too, which makes you just an amazing friend, obviously. I love that about you.
Thanks. Yes. It's my joy.
Yeah. Yeah. It brings you joy. What about running a business is hard. We talk about it a lot. And it's also incredibly rewarding. But tell me about a time where you felt fear or insecurity or doubt in your business and how did you overcome it?
I think I feel that every single day.
Yep.
Every time I get on the phone and talk to somebody about my business, I feel fear and insecurity and doubt. I think it's just every day is an opportunity to overcome, and I take it like that. I mean, it's the only time I don't feel fear and insecurity or doubt in my business is when I'm by myself editing, because I'm by myself and
Right.
it's just me and the pixels.
Right.
Anytime when I'm photographing people, I actually feel very in the zone when they're actually in front of my camera. But all of the working up to getting them in front of my camera is terrifying, actually.
Yeah.
I'm just not so good with words, and I'm not a born salesperson. And so, like, when someone is interested, I so badly want to photograph you that I almost get stupid.
Oh, I love it. But I feel like that transparency or like that authenticity can really help people connect to you and feel that on the other line. Like I feel we talk about this at Crystal Media, like we are not hard salespeople. If you buy today, I'll sweeten the pot for you or anything like that, right? We really believe in if it's a right fit, here's how we can help. And if you think that's what you need right now, we would love to work with you. If now's not the right time, that's okay. And some people who are like sales trainers are like, oh my God, I can't believe you're saying that. You could close them right now. I probably could have double the revenue I'm doing right now if we were more aggressive with sales, but it's just not the business that I want to have. I really want to attract the right people and have them feel really good about their decision. And so I feel like, from the sales perspective of you, and that's got to be hard because you're really selling your work, like your talent, but you just got to be authentic and be you. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's definitely an investment. So I don't want anyone like homeless with a beautiful album.
Right. Exactly. No.
Like I really want it to feel good and to be a joy and to be something that brings you joy every time you see it. And so I sometimes I do like talk people out of booking with me because I'm like, it's not the time. Like right now, you really need to get yourself a little bit financially more stable before you come to me.
Right. And anybody who's listening that has a business or is in sales, what I have found, and I'm sure you too, Christina, is that when you are just honest like that, people so respect it. And you are the first person they call when they are in that position. Like they don't even want to go and shop around. They are just like, I so appreciate how honest you were with me and really took my situation in consideration. And then they end up being, for us, and often lifetime clients who, once they do work with you, are raving, tell your friends, they just become your perfect client. So you just got to be honest in sales.
Oh yeah. And I mean, our community is so small. I'm like looking out my window, like our community is so small that I just like, I'm going to see my clients at the coffee shop and I want that to be a happy experience. So, for both of us.
Totally. In the best case scenario, that would be what happens. Yeah.
So I treat everybody, honorably because we're all in this together.
Right. Exactly. Now, how do you overcome this fear of like getting the booking, right? Selling. You obviously are being yourself, you're being honest, but any other things that have helped you get through it?
You just got to do it.
Yep.
Like there's, you can do the Mel Robbins countdown from 5. You can do whatever you got to do, but ultimately you just have to do it.
Yep. It's so true. There's
no magic to that moment.
Right. You got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable is something I say a lot. And push through. If anybody doesn't know the Mel Robbins, it's simply you count down 5, 4. Oh, I'm doing it opposite. I don't know how to count, obviously. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you just do it. Don't think, just do it. And I think there's a lot of power in that. I think the hardest thing is getting started, and especially on those things that we just don't want to do. But man, you could feel like a rock star after you're done. Like I bet when you hang up a sales call and you nailed it, you're like, yes. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I love it.
And it is easier to do that stuff in the morning. I don't know, if it is like decision fatigue or whatever happens, but it is absolutely easier to do that stuff in the morning.
Yep. That's an excellent point. Really tackling the hard stuff in the beginning. Don't save it. I've been saving it lately and then I'm pushing it and then I keep pushing it. And I'm like, why? Then it's the stress of I see it on my to-do list every day.
Worse, and all of that like anticipation is worse than actually just doing it.
Yep. Exactly. Okay, so while it is afternoon as we're filming this, I'm like, we're going to hang up and I'm going to tackle something.
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, exactly. Hey, real quick, if you are a small business owner, I would love to see you at Evolve 2023. This is our marketing and business conference put on by Crystal Media. It's happening in Denver, Colorado, April 26th and 27th at the Gaylord Rockies, a gorgeous venue. And we are going to just create a very special, amazing, epic business event for our small businesses. If you want to evolve your marketing, evolve your business, and evolve your life, this is a must-attend event. Go to crystalmediaco.com/evolve. That's crystalmediaco.com/evolve to learn more and to grab your ticket. I hope to see you there. So you have been a photographer. You've had your business for 12 years. There must be stories of like a crazy story of a client or situation or something. Like, what is one of those stories that was just a crazy situation?
I don't know. I mean, when I used to photograph weddings, there were some crazy situations.
Oh yeah.
There was like mom's second marriage. So the daughters are adult, they're 24, 25, and they partied before the wedding. So
Nice.
So the walking down the aisle was not smooth.
Oh boy.
to say the least. So that was pretty entertaining. And then the sky opened up and it poured buckets of rain.
Oh no. Oh no. Did they keep going with the ceremony or did they run inside?
We were on like an island. So to go inside, you needed to get in the like golf cart to go. Like it was very strange, and it was interesting. I was like hiding under a tree, like with my camera under my shirt.
Yeah.
I don't actually know exactly what other people were doing because I was like trying to keep my gear.
Right.
Yeah, so that was an interesting wedding. I will say that the sky was so weird afterwards. Like it was yellow. The photos are like amazing.
Wow.
Because the sky was so weird afterwards.
Wow.
So that was crazy.
Cool.
In the studio, I don't have a whole lot. You know, I've had the occasional sick kid, and I had one little boy who came in. It was a family portrait. They came in. The little boy, I posed them, and he just starts crying. He's like 4 or 5. He just starts crying, and his parents are like, "Quit it, smile, quit it." And I'm like, wait, hold on. So I'm like, I'm gonna talk to Michael. Michael, why are you crying? And he says, "'Cause I don't want to smile."
Oh.
And I said, "Oh, okay. So don't smile. Can you stand here?" And he says, "Yeah." I say, "Okay, great." So Michael stands there and we wipe his tears, and he just stands there and he doesn't smile. I'm enough of a goofball that, 3 or 4 shots in, he just laughed.
Yep.
So
you got it. You got that smile.
But I did. But he just didn't want to be told to smile, which I can appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, especially as a child, and that could feel scary probably too. Like I'm in front of this camera and I don't know this person. I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, and I think parents sometimes really build it up like, you better behave when we go here. You better behave. And I think
Right.
They're like, they walk in the door and they're like, ah.
Yep. The pressure is on immediately.
The pressure's on.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like I do that even before I'm going to get my photos taken, right? Like the pressure is on. You want to I'm like, how can I lose a couple pounds? Does my hair look amazing? Am I in the right mood? Like all these things.
Is the moon in the right phase?
Yes. Right? You know me well. You know I'm paying attention to that. Oh my God, that's so fun. Yeah, those are some good stories. I know the answer to this, but my listeners obviously don't. Are you happy you don't shoot weddings anymore?
Yeah. I mean, weddings are hard on my body, right? I'm not quite 5 feet tall, and so I'm carrying 2 cameras for 8 hours, and I just always felt like I got hit by a truck the next day.
Yeah, that's tough.
And I'm again, like the National Geographic thing. I don't want to take my gear out into the world. I just want it here. I don't want to carry stuff.
Yep, exactly. Which, if you are watching the video of this, you'll see behind Christina is part of her studio, which is in downtown Loveland at the Gressianu and Loveland, Colorado. And if you are local, I would highly recommend booking a call with Christina and learning more of what she could do and checking out her portfolio, which we'll link to in the show notes. But I also just want to share on a side note, on a personal level, that we also get to sing karaoke at the Gressianu and do a private show there. The studio becomes a karaoke venue, and we have a lot. Man, how many hours do you think we've sang together?
Oh, a lot.
A lot.
I mean, like a 5-hour average times however many nights.
Right. What did they say? Like you become an expert of 40 hours of studying something, or?
No, it's like 10,000 hours. It's like
10. Oh, right. That makes more sense.
40 hours over like 10 years or 5 years or something.
Right. Okay. So we're
not there yet.
We're not, but we are so working on it.
We're totally working on it. That's the plan. We're going to be expert karaoke singers.
I can't think of a more perfect life. I think that sounds amazing. Like, sign me up for that. Oh my gosh. So that is perfect in my next question. I also talk a lot about recharging your batteries. You and I have talked about this of just the importance of taking breaks. And I feel like karaoke could be kind of a break for me, a fun thing to do. But what do you do to recharge your batteries?
I need to sit on the couch, preferably with a cat in my lap, and watch something. Like, I really like to watch TV or movies or whatever. I largely let my husband choose what we're watching because I don't really care. I just want to sit there and watch the thing and see the moving pictures and vegetate.
Yeah, just check out, right? Just
Sort of. I mean, I sort of feel like it's checked out, but I'm also really inspired
mm,
by how beautiful television is. Like, if you look at the color palettes, like, sometimes I'm just floored, every
mm.
now and then there's a scene and I'm like, oh, did you see that color palette? And my husband's like, shh.
I could just see it. But man, you to watch TV through your eyes would be a very different experience. Because I don't really pick up on that with from the color perspective. Obviously, but music for me, I'm like, oh shit, that's the right song at the right time. Like it just, oh. But recently, you were like, did you watch Grey's Anatomy episode? That part with Addison in the elevator with the pink, you were like going crazy.
It was so beautiful.
Yep.
I'm
So
like, you never see a redhead with pink. And then after I said that, of course, I see redheads with pink now a lot. It happens, but usually redheads wear like blue and teal and green, and those things make sense. Pink I had not noticed it before, and so I was floored with her red hair and the mauve and her blue eyes. It was just dreamy.
It was dreamy. And then what I love about you, you're such an action taker. You're like, so I'm going to recreate that. I'm inspired and I'm going to do it. So you have a model friend who's redhead, and man, you create a stunning photo, which I believe is on the homepage of your website. So everybody's got to go at the very least to photocg.co and see this photo that Christina took of this redhead with pink. It's stunning. Stunning.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because then, I mean, the picture's in my head, and if I ignore a picture in my head, it just keeps like flashing at me. So I just have to make it so it can relax.
Yeah, you just got to create it. I love it. What would you like to leave the audience with if they've got a photo shoot that's coming up? I kind of have two questions here. One is, if somebody has the money to invest, I know you're going to recommend like getting professional photos. I would recommend it. I see a lot of people that do take photos on their phones, and that can like work, especially when you're on a budget. Our phones are pretty great nowadays, and you can do that. But there is just magic that can happen with the right photographer that can really bring you to life. And you can use that in your marketing and on your social media and on your website and just really leverage that content. So I'm assuming that you would recommend the same thing, obviously, of just working with somebody professional versus the iPhone user. But have you had any kind of like impact? Are people on your sales calls ever talking about like, oh, but can't I just shoot with my phone? Are you ever hearing that? Or they?
Yeah, I mean, yes, there's a lot of times people are like, it costs what? I could do it with my phone. And to that I say, great. Like, I think take your phone, take your friend, go outside, stand under a tree, and like have at it. Because the phones will get you in focus and they'll get you close to exposure and, like, fine. Like, rather than pay like a novice, or like, I don't want to bash anyone, but rather than pay someone $100 to take your photo outside under a tree, like, absolutely take your friend and do it with your phone. There's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes the phones are great because they're handy, they're there, and if it's an impromptu situation, like, do it. Hiring a photographer with a studio and like a team is like it's a different thing. Just like I can buy potatoes at the grocery store and make French fries, or I can go to the restaurant and buy French fries.
Right.
And they're two different things.
Yeah. Totally.
So yeah, like I think phone cameras are amazing, and use them.
Yeah, use them. The one thing I liked with working with you on like our Crystal Uncorked session is just getting some of that inspiration for different angles or different shots or different looks that I feel like can be hard on your own to think of those things, like you might kind of find some stuff and recreate it, but that is great advice, and it is pretty amazing what we can do with our phones. If somebody they had a session booked with you or somebody else and they're getting ready for that session, what is 1 or 2 tips that you would recommend for them to really bring their authentic self through these pictures?
I don't know. Don't get drunk the night before.
Yeah, it's a great tip.
Ideally, come rested and hydrated. I meet my clients for a consultation before they come to the studio. And so generally I've prepped them with their specific, like, here's what you should do before you come. Whether it's, get your roots touched up, or don't get like a crazy spray tan and stuff like that. But yeah, generally I'd say like cap sleeves are not flattering on anybody.
Right. That's a great point.
Yeah. Hydration's good. Don't get rest and hydration make a big difference in your photography.
Yep. Absolutely. And then I want to add on, once you're done, you need to stretch because you get sore.
Yeah, some of the posing is a little sore because it's, it's a little twisty and there's some core work maybe. And
right. Yeah. And if you have no core like me, then you get really sore after a session. It's a great little workout and you just have to stretch. It helps a lot.
And sometimes because you're my friend and we're like having fun, I'm like, let's try this, which I might not try with a standard client. So
right. Oh man, that one, there is a shot. I'll put it on the blog for this episode, where during Christmas time, Christina did this snowflake light on my eye, and I had to hold this pose perfectly so she could get the light in the perfect position. And Colin came down to assist, it was somebody else was assisting, and it was just like, don't move. And it was great. I love like helping and being the model, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna feel this. This is but man, you got the shot. Like, it's one of my favorite photos, so we'll put that on. It's so good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, so fun. I feel like everybody needs a photography friend that can have fun and do creative stuff. Like, it's just so fun to do it. Before we sign off here, any last words? One thing I'll say, I said this in the beginning too, but definitely check out photocg.co, not .com.co. And you can also check out Christina on Instagram, Facebook, photocg, or search Christina Gressianu. And we'll link to all these too. Any final words before we sign off?
Oh, just have fun. Don't take yourself too seriously out there, because life's hard. Just have fun as much as you can.
I love that. Cheers to that. Great advice. I needed to hear that.
Cheers, friends.
Cheers. All right, everybody, check out Christina. Get inspired by what she creates. And if you have any questions, let us know. DM us. We're always happy to help. And I'll see you on the next See You. Thank you, Christina.
Thanks, Crystal. Bye.
Bye. All right, let's keep this conversation going. Join me on Instagram. I'm at Crystal Uncorked. And I need to tell you, thank you so much for listening to this show. It truly means the world to me. If you're enjoying Crystal Uncorked, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Okay, I'll see you on the next See You. Cheers, friend.